Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I set up my 2024, my agenda for the new year. Now I did another video on the three different things that I use. I use a wall calendar, which I refer to as my calendar. I sometimes use a planner, which is what I call a binder setup for like planning projects and such and goal setting. And then I also use what I call an agenda. I have had to define all these different things for my hubby because when I refer to things, he thought they were all one and the same, and they're not. I use all different three things, excuse me, for different reasons, in different ways. And I actually created another video on that. But today we're going to talk about how I set up my 2024 agenda. Now, my agenda I use as my day-to-day to-do list, my agenda for the day. What am I going to get done? What do I hope to get done? What did or didn't get done? And, how am I going to outline my day? So, first of all, my preference, I know there's a ton of different agendas and spiral bound or coil bound planners to choose from. My personal preference is Blue Sky. Not a sponsor. I'm so new. I don't have any sponsors, which, to be honest with you, I like because when I share things on my channel, you know that it's something I use, and you can know that it's something I trust and stand behind, and I will do my best to tell you why. So here's why I prefer a Blue Sky planner. Do they call it a planner? Oh, they call it a planning calendar. Okay. So first of all, I love the size. This is an 8x5. It's small enough that I can throw it in my purse or just carry it around the house. It's not big and bulky, and I have my whole year in probably less than half an inch thick little book here. I also love Blue Sky because they offer a customizable cover where it's a pocket, you can slip a picture or whatever you want on the inside. At the very least, though, you're going to find that they have these really hard, rigid plastic or poly covers. Last year, here's my last year's agenda. Oh, that one clearly says agenda 2023. This was just very plain. I'm going to be real frank. I don't usually care about what the cover is because the vast majority of the time I just flip it and I just look at whatever page I'm looking at. So I love that. I can leave it open on my desk and check things off. And actually, while we're here, let's go ahead and look at this. So this is what a spread looks like for me. I'm just randomly going to what was a really busy week. First of all, I love the layout. I like a Monday start with a weekend at the end because rarely do I have anything that I need to remember on the weekend. So I like the layout of Saturday and Sunday having a much smaller section, and at the end of the week, because I really think of my start of the week as being Monday. That's the day the kids go back to school. That's the day I actually go back to work. And so I like starting my planner week on a Monday start. That's just my personal preference. So like I said, I use my agenda to write down what I have to get done or what I want to get done during a day. And I start by just making a circle. And I actually only use ballpoint pen in my planner, or excuse me, my agenda. And here's why. It's water. It's water resistant. So I love tea. You will rarely find me without an iced tea in the afternoon and the evening and a hot tea in the morning. And well, I can get messy and there can be condensation from the iced tea, and it drops on my agenda, which is always open on my desk. And I want something that's waterproof so that my to-do list each day doesn't get ruined or obscured. So I always use a ballpoint pen. I'll probably do a video on this too about my favorite ballpoint pens. Right now I really love a Bic Velocity 1.6 bold, and I always use blue. So I make my little to-do list by starting with a circle and then write down what I need to get done. And then as I complete it, I just put a slash through it. Now, sometimes I don't get a lot of times I don't get everything done. When that happens, I just literally draw a downward arrow in the circle. And then sometimes if it's obscured, I do another arrow here. So I know that, okay, that has to get done for the previous day. When I'm really excited and I've ticked off all of my circles, I sometimes draw this line through it. That's actually what I do in my checkbook too. Maybe I should share that. I have a little process and a shorthand that I use for managing what is cleared and what hasn't in my check register from the bank. And when an entire page in my check register is completed, I draw a line, and then I just draw a circle in the bottom, so I know at a glance when I'm flipping through the pages of my check register, okay, all of those transactions have cleared, done. But anyway, okay, back to the agenda. Sorry, that was a side note. Got sidetracked. So as you can see, I love having these day sections because it gives me plenty enough room to write down what I need to write down, whether it be doctor's appointments or personal deadlines or just things I have to get done. Now, I work part-time for a nonprofit organization as a writer and a curriculum writer, so I often have deadlines and projects that I have to do for them. But then I also am a self-published independent author, and obviously trying to run a YouTube channel now. And so I use my agenda to manage all of those different tasks, all of those different hats that I wear. I'm also a mom to a child with special needs and a mom to an adult son who just turned 18 and lives at home and goes to the university that I still help out a lot with too. So all of those different hats and all of those little chores and tasks that I juggle gets written down in my agenda. So my investment in my agenda is one, a commitment that I'm making for the entire year, but it's also an investment and a tool in my sanity. My agenda is what helps me be productive and to get the things done that I need to get done. So again, love the Blue Sky planners, but oh my goodness, I have been looking and looking and looking. They do not sell. I wanted this exact planner again, and I am so disappointed that I could not find it. But the good news about Blue Sky is they always stay true to this size, and you can expect to pay anywhere from $10 for the entire year for a planner that will last all year, which is less than $1 a month, obviously, all the way up to $20. $20 is their high end, but even then, I feel like that's less than $2 a month. That's less than $1 a week for, clearly way less than $1 a week for the year. So what did I go with? I found this one. Now it's not, let me see if I can find a blank page here. You know what? Let's go to a page that I haven't written in so we can compare them side by side. Okay, there we go. Next week. I haven't even filled out next week yet. So this is what the spread would look like in the planner that I've been using all year long, and I love it. It's easy to read. It's bold, has clearly defined lines that tell me which, days are where. My eyesight isn't great, but I can read this with or without my glasses, can clearly read the days of the week, and the layout is what I like. Again, Monday start, so love that. So let's look at this calendar real quick. Oh, and I should share too. In the Blue Sky agendas or planners, they offer the weekly spread, a 2-page weekly spread, but then they also, let's see if I can find an empty month. Okay, let's just use that one. They offer a monthly spread as well, and they offer really sturdy tab dividers for each month, which I love. I honestly do not use the monthly spread very often. I mainly use it for the weekly, and then I just always have it open on my desk like this. However, they do offer the monthly, and I've decided that the next year I'm going to start using the monthly spread in my agenda to outline which videos I'm going to publish which week on YouTube. I don't write appointments in this monthly spread or in this monthly view simply because I don't look at it often enough to warrant that extra effort. I use my wall calendar so I can see appointments at a glance. So again, I only use the weekly pages, but I just wanted you to know that they do offer a really nice monthly spread as well. So let's jump in to the one that I did get, and I can't remember if I paid $12 or $14. It wasn't as cheap. The one I got last year, the one you just saw, was $10. I think I paid, might have been $12.99. And I'll put a link to this one down below. But it's the same size that I love, the 5x8. Has the sturdy poly cover. Again, I don't really care about that because the cover is rarely shown. I rarely look at it, but I do like having a sturdy cover for when I throw it in my my writing tote and my purse if I'm just taking my purse out somewhere. So let's look first of all at the weekly spread. Now remember, let's go from one to the other. This is what this one looked like last year. Loved it. And this is what I'm going to try and work with this year. Now, let me start with what I like about this spread, and before let's focus on the positive before we get to the negatives. And you know, full disclosure, I bought 3 of these different kinds, different formats from Blue Sky on Amazon. Got them, flipped through them, decided no, this is not going to work. So I actually returned them and then bought another one. This was the 3rd one. This is the one I'm committing to. This is the one I've landed on, and here's why. First of all, love the size, 5x8. Love the cover, sturdy plastic poly cover. Thirdly, has the layout that I want. It always starts on Monday and ends with Saturday, Sunday, small little squares to write here. Also offers me adequate space here to write. Now the lines are a little more narrow, or at least they look that. Yeah, the lines are closer to a college rule in here. The lines in last year's was more of a wide ruled, which I really, really liked. Again, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I disagree with John Acuff. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. He said that wide ruled is only for lazy people. Wide ruled is for people who like visual breathing room and have conviction in the way they write, and write big and loopy and bold. So that's me, and I'm sticking to that. So I had to give a little on the line spacing here, but that, you know, that was small potatoes compared to the other things I did not like about this particular agenda. All right, so let's get into the stuff I don't like. The tabs, the monthly tabs, you can see last year, oh, they were so easy to read. Oh, at a glance, again, could read them with my glasses or without my glasses. Not so much on this year's. You can barely see that on camera, and I can barely see it with my glasses on. But I ultimately decided, like I said, I don't use the monthly tabs, or excuse me, I don't use the monthly spreads very much. So I thought, you know what, I'm really only going to use those, you know, once a month to move to the next section. I don't even know if I'm going to use them for that. But so fine, I let that go. I feel like I'm losing a little space with the decorative touches here. On the other hand, blue, actually seafoam aqua teal is my favorite color. So I thought, okay, well, maybe it'll be nice to have a little more color and decor. I do like the bold separations, strokes, lines, boxes, whatever you want to call it, that separate each day a little more. But I would rather be able to have space up here to write and take notes if I need to. But, you know, okay, we'll give that a go. The other thing I did not like about this particular design, this particular model, if you will, is, oh my goodness, they got cheap. They got cheap, and they put a, what do you call it? A little pocket, but it's made out of cardboard, or excuse me, cardstock. Now, granted, it's not flimsy paper, it's cardstock. But last year, they provided, and in this cheap agenda, $10 again, they had a really nice plastic one. So you know what I did? I thought, I wonder if I can hack it, take it out carefully so that I could put it into this year's. And so you know what? That's what I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hide that. That's what I did. This little plastic 2-sided pocket actually came out of last year's planner. So how did I do that? In case there's a planner that you want to do that and reuse it. And then I'm not wasting it, which is nice. But that was something I really, really was going to miss in this. And so what I did is, I'm going to pretend that this part is actually the pocket that I want to remove. Now that it's nearing the end of the year, I can get rid of it. So I flipped the cover out of the way so that I could just see or separate the pocket. Again, we're pretending that's what this is. And then what I did was very carefully, in between these coils, I slipped my scissors and literally just snapped it. Let me see. It was easier when I was doing this last night. Can I recreate this really quick so I can show you what I mean? Now, it took a little doing, but the plastic is easy to do because it's sturdy and it's not going to rip like paper does. And it just took a few minutes. You see I'm doing this right now. Let me see if I can get this better on camera for you. There you go. Going in between the coils, which just snugs up right against my scissors. And you want to do that all the way down. You could actually do this for any kind of an important page in your planner, if you're using a spiral bound planner and you want to take something out of that in order to be able to snap it into a new planner so you don't lose any information or lose any tools. Now I'm getting to the edge here, and it's going to be... Okay, there we go. Then very carefully, just pull it out. Oh, I forgot one there. There we go. As you can see, there we go. Did I forget that one? There we go. There, great. You can see that it's intact, and this is just, I mean, granted, it's not cardstock, it's laminated, their version of laminating, but it was even easier with the plastic pocket. And then when you want to place it, you can put it anywhere in your planner. Just turn to a page. Let's do this. And then to put it in, all you do is line it up and literally snap it. And what I did, let's see, where's my pen? I took my pen and just pushed through the coils. You could do this with regular old paper pages if you wanted. They would show much more wear than a laminated piece of portion of the planner, or again that plastic folder, excuse me, pocket. But then you can see, look, it's awesome. So now I can take it off and put that plastic pocket, and not only in this New Year's agenda, but in future ones. So, you know, even though that was something I wanted to have, a feature I wanted to have, I found a way to take it out of this year's and put it into the planner that I have to make good use of this year. So I didn't while it didn't come included, I hacked my way around that and found a solution. So in this way, now I have 4 folders, or excuse me, 4 pockets. 2 on the plastic one that I put in here, and then the cardboard one. And you know what? This is nice too. I can actually write on it or take notes, and I'll find a way to love this, I'm sure. So what do I do to get started for using my agenda for the new year? Honestly, not much. I get myself acclimated to whatever design changes I have to, you know, learn to embrace. But I do 2 things specifically. One, I go through and I note the beginning of each quarter and the end of each quarter throughout the calendar. I like to set myself up for goals and organizing my schedule on a quarterly basis. There's 4 quarters. Quarter 1 being January to March, quarter 2 being, let me get my handy dandy guide here, quarter 2 April to June, quarter 3 July to September, and quarter 4 October to December. So each quarter has 3 months, and I try to come up with 3 goals for each quarter in a year. That means I'm going to hopefully achieve 12 major goals over the course of the entire year. Why 3? Because 1, it's enough for me to really get traction on something and achieve something meaningful, but 2, not so many that I'm incredibly overwhelmed and decrease my chances of success. So what I do is I go through both in the monthly, even though I don't use the monthly much, I'm going to try to do it this year. I note the beginning of the quarter, both in the monthly spread and the weekly spread, so I can see it at a glance. And then I note the end of each quarter. And again, I do that both in the monthly and the weekly. And I go through the whole calendar and I do that for those months. And then I actually, because I use my agenda more than any other planning tool that I have, more than my wall calendar, more than a binder, ring bound planner, I like to have my quarterly goals somewhere, somehow in my agenda. So in years past, and I went ahead and set it up this way for this planner, because, excuse me, this agenda, because this has been my habit. And what do I use for this? Guess what? Index cards. Specifically the Oxford Heavyweight 3x5 index cards. They are hands down my favorite. They're a little pricey, especially when you compare them to cheap Target index cards that are 75 cents or $1 for 100. But they often go on sale on Amazon. In fact, I'm going to leave a link down below so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But they're far sturdier. They're actual cardstock. They are the index card thickness that I remember from when I was a child. So I take 4 cards, and you can use the full. This agenda is 8 by 5, so it will accommodate a full-size card. You don't have to trim it, but because it just barely does it, just barely accommodates it, I trim 3/4 of an inch to an inch off on the side on 4 cards. And then I actually, because I love office supplies and because I love color makes me happy, I color code my quarters. And to do that, I actually use 2 different kinds of pens. My favorite gel pen is the Pilot G2. I like their bold point, and I only buy their set of 10 because any more than 10 colors, well, I just don't need it. They're pretty on my desk, but I just don't use it. I get overwhelmed by those choices. So I like their set of 10, and these are the four colors that I use. It's a teal, light pink, almost a salmon, yellow, orangey color, and then a light blue. So those are my colors that I use for writing, or excuse me, notating the quarters in my agenda. But then I also use, I love Sharpie S-Note. I know that mild liners are big and popular with people. 1, I find them really expensive, and 2, I don't like them. The few times I have tried a couple of them, they were dry, and I didn't find using them to be very enjoyable. S-Note, Sharpie S-Note creative markers, they can get a little pricey too, but they often go on sale, and I can usually find them on clearance after back to school time. But you can also buy them in very small sets for cheaper. I'll leave a link to these on it down below from Amazon too, so you can check them out. But I like them because they're often very inky. They last me a long time, and they matched my colors in my G2 pilots just perfectly, as you can see here. So this is more of a teal aqua color. It's not coming through on camera. I apologize. And then the pinks, while it doesn't look like it matches here on the pen, writing it down it does, and I'll show you. And then there's my orange, and then there's my light blue. And so here you can see, I take an S-Note and I quickly make a box around. Then I take my Pilot G2 and I label Q1, the date, and then I write down the 3 main goals. So for example, during Q1, I'm going to be trying to upload a video once a week to YouTube. That's an ongoing goal I have. I hope to get to 500 subscribers before March 29th. So if you're, shameful plug, if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I hope that I can share some tips, strategies, and solutions to help you. Or if nothing else, hopefully provide some entertainment. Next, I hope my goal is to publish 4 new books this year. And so Q1, I want to write and publish 1 book on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. That's Amazon. So how do I put them here? And I do that for each quarter. And how do I put them here? Well, this is just the other side of their cover, their laminated paper cover. And I just take a piece of Scotch tape, clear transparent tape, and I put it across the top, and then I fold it over, and then I put another piece of clear transparent tape. You don't have to. Why do I do that? Because I flip through these a lot throughout the year, and it just adds to the durability. And then when I put them, I always start with the first one. You could start with the last one, but you start with one and then just stagger them so you can see at a glance Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then that way you can flip through them and see them. Now you're not going to see a whole lot of changes in my goals. The only changes being the increase in subscribers I want to have or achieve by the end of each quarter. And then, like I said, I want to publish 4 books this year. So book 1, book 2, book 3, and book 4. Now, something else I decided to do this year, and if you watch my previous video, you'll know what I'm talking about. I decided I wanted to try something else. I wanted to have my quarterly goals here, but I also wanted to have them a smaller version that I could keep in my purse with me at all times. So I created this quarterly printable. And in my last video, I provided a link, and I'm going to share that link here so you can download it and get it for free and hopefully put it to good use as well. This, let me unfold it. You can download via the link below, or you can go to my website, hopecopenope.com, and then click anywhere on my face, my headshot, and it'll automatically download this for you. And it's just a one-page printable. And after you print it, you fold it twice. So fold it up and down, then fold it to the side. And then what you end up with is this nice, cute little, really small, portable, quarterly outline. And again, it has sections for 3 goals. It clearly outlines each quarter at the top. And then I also have included a tiny little, I don't know, a little encouragement. The first one, your grit will get you there, with a cute little bicycle. Screw up, just don't give up. Please be patient, work in progress, and rest, don't quit. So a little, not affirmation, but a little saying, a little quote to give you the encouragement, to give myself the encouragement I need to keep going. If you like these, another shameless plug, I have a shop. You can go to my website, again, hopecopenope.com, and I sell merchandise, mugs, shirts, even pillows. Anyway, long pillowcases, lots of little stuff with my designs that I hope will encourage and help you live the best possible life you can and be the best version of you that you can be. I want to be an encouragement and a help. So anyway, if you are looking to start the year off right, get some goals down on paper, just enough so that they're achievable and doable and not overwhelming, please, I invite you to check out the link below or go to my website and download this printable. I'm going to keep this in my purse, and these goals match what I have in my agenda. It's just 2 different ways. If I don't have my agenda with me, I'm going to have this in my purse, and it's a good way to remind myself, okay, what do I want? What do I have to get done in the next 3 months? And because this way, there's only 1 quarter in front of me at a time, I don't get overwhelmed. And if I can keep feeling overwhelmed to a minimum and keep my stress level down, well, I just function better. We all do. So that is how I've set up my agenda for 2024 and how I've incorporated my quarterly goals for the upcoming year. And I invite you to do the same. If you have a different process, I'd love to hear what you do to set yourself off on the right foot for the upcoming new year. Just leave a comment below and maybe I can learn from you. I'd appreciate you sharing your tips, tricks, and wisdom with me. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.